Okay, we are looking at page 239. So we're going to do the order of operations in reverse to solve these inequalities. So if we talk about sat meg, the opposite of plus 4 is minus 4. And if you minus 4 to one side, you have to minus 4 to the other side. 5 minus 4 is 1. Now x and the 4 are dividing. The opposite of dividing is multiplication. So we are going to multiply both sides by 4. This is going to cancel out. So we have x is greater than or equal to 4. So the first one, x is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, the next one, I got to get minus 2x by itself. So I got to get rid of 13.9. Right now, this is a positive 13.9. So the opposite is a minus 13.9 or a negative 13.9. And so when I subtract this, this cancels out. I bring down all of this. So I'm going to bring down minus 2x. 5.9 and minus 13.9 are different signs subtract. So I'm going to do 13.9 minus 5.9. When I subtract, 9 minus 9 is 0. 13 minus 5 is 8. And that's going to keep the higher absolute value. So it is negative 8. Well, then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. We're going to get, this is going to cancel out. We have x equals positive 4. All right, the next one, I have to get negative 3/4 x by itself. So I have to get rid of minus 3. The way that I get rid of minus 3 is that I'm going to add 3 to both sides. When I do that, I have a negative 1/2 and a positive 3. This is different signs subtract. So I'm going to have to do 3 minus 1/2. I'm going to have to borrow from the 3. Make it 2 and 2/2. 2/2 minus 1/2 is 1/2. Bring down the 2. So I have 2.5. And I'm going to divide by negative 3/4 x. So the negative 3/4 and x are multiplying. The opposite is division. So we are going to have to divide by 3/4 and divide by 3/4. Well, I'm going to write that off to the side because it's getting kind of crunched over here. But it looks like this. 2.5 divided by negative 3/4. I have to keep it, flip it, change it. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5/2. So still we are going to keep it, flip it, change it. So this is going to simplify to 1. This is going to simplify to 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. 10/3 can be Taiboed. So when you Taibo that out, it's going to go in there 3 times. And we get 3 and 1/3. Now, The thing about this, though, is the inequality is going to flip. Oops, I got purple. I meant green. So x, instead of it saying greater, it flipped, and it's now less than. Oh, and these were different. So it is negative 3 1/3. All right. Okay, so the next one. We got to do the opposite of plus 16, which is minus 16. When you have negative 4 minus 16, whoopsie, that's going to come negative 20. And then you have 5x equals negative 20. You divide both sides by 5. And then this cancels out. This cancels out. So negative 20 divided by positive 5 is negative 4. Okay, the next one. I got to get rid of plus 9 1/4. So I'm going to subtract 9 1/4. When I do that, luckily I have the same denominator. I got 3 minus 1, which is 2. And 12 minus... Oh, wait. Sorry. It's negative 12 minus 9 1/4. That means same signs add. So back it up. Okay, so it's actually going to be 3/4 plus 1/4, which is going to be 4/4. 12 plus 9 is going to get me 21. Okay, and then another way to write 21 and 4/4 is 22. So just to finish this cancels out. And we have 3x. I'm going to rewrite it over here on the right-hand side. So we're going to have 22 is less than 3x. We have to divide both sides by 3. So this will cancel out. 22 divided by 3 will go in there 7 times. We're going to write it clockwise. So we're going to have x is greater than 7 1/3. So when we write it, it's going to look like this. Oh, and they are, this was negative 21 and 4/4. So it will be negative 7 1/3. All right, let's go to number 2. On number 2, it says Emma has 2 items left to purchase on her school supply list. Composition books are $1.25 each, and folders are $1 each. Emma has no more than $10 to spend and knows that the folders will cost a total of $4. Emma uses the inequality below to determine how many composition books she can purchase. Can Emma buy composition books? Explain why or why not. Well, we have the inequality. 10 is greater than or equal to 4 plus 1.25c. Well, we have to get rid of the 4, so we are going to subtract 4. This is going to cancel out. We have 6. And then we have 1.25c. The 1.25 and c are multiplying. The opposite is dividing. So when we divide by 1.25, let's divide that off to the side. So 6 goes on the inside. 1.25. We're going to have to hop it twice. Hop it twice. Let's try 4 times. So we're going to say 125 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 500. We subtract, we get 100. So decimal, decimal, 0. We're going to try times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So we have 4.8. All right, so C has to be less than or equal to 4.8. So can Emma buy 4 composition books? No. She can only buy less than or equal to 4.8. Well, you can't have 4.8 of a composition book. So technically, the only thing that Emma can purchase, she can either have 0 composition books, 1 composition book, 2 composition books, 3 composition books, or 4 composition books. But she does not have enough money for 5 composition books. All right, let's go to number 3. Okay, on number 3, it says, Miss Beaumont gives her math students a quiz every Wednesday. This week, her students determine which values are true, given the inequalities. The correct value for the inequality below are missed by several students. So, we have this inequality. -4 minus x divided by 2 is less than or equal to 10. I have to get rid of -4, so I'm going to +4. This cancels out. I get 14. We have the x and the 2 are dividing. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. I'm going to multiply both sides by -2. This is going to cancel out. The inequality is going to flip. 14 times -2 is -28. So it has to be greater than or equal to -28. So which 2 students determine a possible solution? It would be Mac, and it would be Anaka. Okay, and then the last part, it says, explain why the values are not true for this inequality. Because -29 and -30 are less than -28. Okay, so that's the second part. All right, the last question. It says, explain the differences between the solution sets. Okay, this one is an equal to. This is a greater than or equal to. About to run out of time, but real quick.